we get a similar form for the word for great or large in Greek, which is megās, megαλλή, μεγά. It's technically a 2-1-2 adjective, again, except for the nominative singular and accusative singular forms for the masculine and neuter. So let's fill out the genitive form, where we see our basic stem. The stem is μεγά, and then we add u to make it a genitive singular masculine. We have μεγά plus ace to make it a genitive singular feminine, and then we have μεγά plus u to make it a genitive singular neuter. The dative forms for the masculine singular is μεγαλλό. We'll skip the shaded. And the nominative plural for the masculine forms is μεγαλλόι. The genitive plural is μεγαλλών. The dative plural is μεγαλλόις. And the accusative plural is μεγαλλούς. And like Paulus, Paulé, and Paula, we have a different stem used for the nominative and accusative singular, and that's simply megá. And then if we add a nominative case ending, third declension, it's a sigma. So the shaded area. So for the nominative singular, accusative singulars, they use the third declension case endings in a different stem. Let's use that different stem for the accusative, megá. And what is the case ending for the accusative singular and third declension? It's megon. So let's say the paradigm for megás in its masculine forms. It's megás, μεγαλλού, μεγαλλό, μεγάν, μεγαλλόι, μεγαλλών, μεγαλλόις, μεγαλλούς. For the feminine forms, we expect to see the first declension case endings for all the forms. And so we use the stem μεγά, and then we add the eta to make it nominative singular μεγαλλή. The genitive form is μεγαλλής. The dative form is μεγαλλή iota subscript. The accusative form is μεγαλλέιν. The nominative plural form, feminine, is μεγαλλάι. The genitive form, plural, is μεγαλλών. The dative plural is μεγαλλάις. And the last feminine form, the accusative plural, is μεγαλλός. And so let's say the forms, feminine forms for the Greek word μεγάς, μεγαλλή, μεγά, that means great or large. Let's begin with the nominative singular. 1, 2, 3. μεγαλλή, μεγαλλής, μεγαλλέ, μεγαλλέιν, μεγαλλάι, μεγαλλών, μεγαλλάις, μεγαλλός. And the neuter form also uses the second declension endings for most of the paradigm except for the nominative accusative singular. So let's do the other case endings first. We already did μεγαλλού for the genitive singular, μεγαλλό iota subscript for the dative singular, μεγαλλά alpha for the nominative plural, μεγαλλών for the genitive plural, μεγαλλόις for the dative plural, and μεγαλλά alpha again for the accusative plural. And for the nominative singular, accusative singular forms, it uses a different stem, megá, and megá, where you add nothing for the nominative singular, accusative singular case endings, and so the stem remains, and so the form for the nominative singular, accusative singular neuter adjective is megá. So let's say the entire paradigm beginning with the nominative singular form. Ready? 1, 2, 3. μεγά, μεγαλλού, μεγαλλό, μεγά, μεγαλλά, μεγαλλών, μεγαλλόις, μεγαλλά. And this is the paradigm for megás, μεγαλλή, megá, which means great or large in Greek. So we just went over the adjective that means great or large in Greek, and that's megás, μεγαλλή, megá. And we just went over the whole paradigm in the previous slide. if I wanted to say greater or larger, I want to make it imperative, I would use meson, and this would be a 3-3 adjective. So if I were to remember, it would be meson as the neuter form. Masculine and feminine endings are going to follow the same endings as you would ion. So for the nominative singular, it'd be meson. For the genitive singular, it'd be mesonos. The dative singular would be mesoni, etc., etc., etc. So follow the paradigm as you would for ion, and that would give you the masculine and feminine forms for this adjective, greater or larger. And then for the neuter forms, make sure that you would use meson for the nominative singular forms, but then you would simply follow the case endings mesonos, mesoni, meson again, mesona, etc., etc., etc. So if I just simply remember the third declension case endings to the neuter form, and these are forms that you should be familiar with. And lastly, if I wanted not to say greater or larger, but I want to say the greatest or largest, I would use superlative megastos, and this would be a 2-1-2 adjective. So the masculine forms would be megastos, the feminine form would be megiste, and you use all the first declension nouns, and the neuter form would be megiston, and then I would expect to use the neuter endings.